And as the year 2020 finally comes to a close, thank goodness, I wanted to share with you guys my top 20 favorite uh, collectibles, figures, toys that I got this year. And in at number 20 are these guys. No, not these guys, not these figures per se, but the DNA upgrade kits for Optimus Prime, Blackout, and Sentinel Prime. I love what DNA has done with their DK designs, and they just make the Hasbro Studio Series figures a much better looking set of figures. And I'm absolutely amazed at these particular sets, at how they turned Blackout, Sentinel Prime, and even Optimus Prime into perfect looking figures. Well done, DNA. And at number 19, it's the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Hellfire Club set, particularly these two figures of the White Queen and the Black Queen, Emma Frost and Jean Grey. I was just so glad that Hasbro still gave us these figures, despite anxieties and fears that Disney would not allow it. Somehow Hasbro was able to squeeze these figures in, and I was just so glad to actually get them. And at number 18 is the Marvel Legends Nimrod. This is the Nimrod that came with the 3-pack with Psylocke and Phantom X. I don't know what it is about this figure. I love how he turned out. I grew up reading the X-Men in high school, and Nimrod was one of those villains, those Sentinels, those superpower Sentinels that really gave the X-Men a hard time. And I am so glad that Hasbro did such a wonderful job in this Marvel Legends incarnation. And at number 17, it is the Super Megatron Generation Selects Voyager class Super Megatron. Oh my goodness. I've never had a Megatron this amazing and this cool. I mean, the Netflix Megatron was amazing, but this one just combines a lot of the Transformers animated anime, G1, and War for Cybertron trilogy, sort of Prime Wars, Megatron. All of these iterations of Megatron combined into one incredible super figure. I love this Super Megatron. And at number 16, it's Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine. Oh my goodness. I love this figure. Probably my favorite X-Men movieverse Marvel Legends figure that Hasbro's ever done. This figure just blew me away. The head sculpt, face sculpt, the details in the figure, those claws. Absolutely perfect movieverse Wolverine. At number 15, it is the retro-carded vintage classic Jim Lee Rogue. And I think this is just fan service from Hasbro, re-releasing a sought-after figure done in better colors, better head sculpt. Well, it is still a store exclusive, but we've got a better-looking Rogue that just, I believe, sent the prices on that original Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave Rogue came crashing down because hoarders and scalpers were just not budging over that figure. And now we have this, and I think, to me, this is a better figure. Thank you, Hasbro, for giving us the Jim Lee Rogue that we need. At number 14 are the Battle Chargers Run Amok and Runabout, done in their modern adaptation for the War for Cybertron trilogy Earthrise line of figures. I was very impressed with these figures. I did not think they were going to be executed very well. Both of them are just amazing pieces to add to your G1 inspired Generations collection of Transformers. Run Amok and Runabout. In at lucky number 13 is James Rhodes as the War Machine in his classic comic book look, armor and design. I am just so impressed with this figure. The base mold was already an amazing figure mold to begin with, but for them to really turn it into something like this was just absolutely genius on the part of the designers for Marvel Legends. I'm just so loving this figure. I grew up watching the cartoons, reading the comic books. This War Machine was just an absolute must-have for all you Iron Man War Machine collectors out there. At number 12 is the Perfect Effect Honor Warrior, a third-party Optimus Prime figure done in a sort of in-between Deluxe and Voyager class scale. It is an amazing, amazing third-party figure. I mean, it is to some extent better than some of the Optimus Prime figures that Hasbro and Takara Tomy have ever done. I really love the design of this figure. It's not by all means a perfect Optimus Prime figure. Transformation could use some help, but aesthetic wise, this is one of the best Optimus Prime figures I've ever had. I absolutely love this figure. And rounding up our top half of our top 20 favorite figures of 2020 is none other than the Sith Lord himself, Darth Vader. And this is the latest sculpt and incarnation of this badass villain from the original trilogy Star Wars from Hasbro. And I still hold it that this is the best ever Darth Vader figure that Hasbro's ever come up with, including the 3.75 inch and 6-inch Black Series figures. I really love this figure. And you know, I've had the SHF, this SH Figure Arts Darth Vader. It was great, but I wasn't too happy with it. This one, I'm absolutely, completely happy with this figure. A definite must-have for all Black Series collectors, especially Darth Vader fans. And kicking off our top 10 at number 10 is a Netflix Earthrise Deluxe Class Bumblebee. The figure is by no means perfect, but I love it. I like it 100% because it is so G1 inspired that I love this modern take on this lovable character. And it really reminds you so much of that 1980s cartoon. He's got the Volkswagen Beetle as an alt mode. The robot mode looks so much like, well, at least to a certain extent, how he looked like in the cartoon, save for a lot of kibble here and there. But the overall design just reminds you so much of your childhood watching those Saturday morning cartoons, the Transformers. This Bumblebee figure just does it for me. At number 9 are the Earthrise Seekers, Skywarp, Thundercracker, and Starscream. Albeit these were incredibly difficult to acquire and complete. I think Hasbro and Takara Tomy did a wonderful job giving us a classic styled, mold-inspired new Earthrise Voyager class versions of the Seekers. They rely heavily on the engineering of those classic universe Seekers way back when they were in the deluxe class format. Now that they've become Voyager class, I'm so happy with these. I mean, there are a lot of comments that, you know, they could have improved the design and all that. They shouldn't have just copied that old mold. But to me, they are perfect. I actually love these figures. And edging the Seekers by a bit, at number 8, we have the Seeker Coneheads, Dirge, Ramjet, and Thrust in their Earth mode Earthrise versions. And again, this mold is just absolutely amazing. And I think Hasbro and Takara Tomy really perfected the use of this mold with these 3 Conehead Seekers. The pin-ups are great. The sculpts are great. I love the 3 different faces. The jet modes, alt modes are just absolutely perfect. I love these figures. And again, it was very difficult to acquire, but I am so happy to finally have completed all my G1 Seekers, at least the ones I grew up with the Seekers, and now the Coneheads. In at number 7 is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Heroes of Endor set, particularly the speeder bike with Luke and Leia. I love this set. And this is a lot of nostalgia and emotional attachment to it. That's why it's so high up in my ranking. I never thought I would actually get these versions of these characters, much less a speeder bike with them on it. And in this scale, in the 6-inch scale, I could only dream of getting them in the 3.75-inch scale, but now I have them in an even better scale. Great details. Hasbro did a wonderful job with these Black Series figures. I absolutely love this. That's why they're so high up at number 7. Nearing the end, we have at number 6 The G.I. Joe Classified series, Cobra Trooper. I did not expect to fully fall in love with this figure. I think Hasbro did such a wonderful job executing this figure. A fantastic army building figure. Great design, great details, paint, accessories. What more can you ask for? And it's an exclusive, sadly, but just an amazing figure. If I could get more than one, I would. Rounding up our top 5, at number 5 is the goddess Aurora Monroe as Storm, done in her classic all-new X-Men, or giant-sized X-Men number 1 version, in her classic outfit, classic uniform as Storm when Professor Xavier, Charles Xavier, recruits her. This is the Storm figure that all the fans, X-Men collectors, Marvel Legends fans have been waiting for. And Hasbro did a phenomenal job with this figure. This figure is so amazing. She stands perfectly on those little feet. She has great design on her costume. The material they used for her boots, for her uniform, even for the cape is absolutely perfect. The head sculpt is just great. Loving this figure so much. In at number 4 is the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. And you knew, I'm pretty sure a lot of you knew this was going to make it the top 5, because again, this figure, full of nostalgia, teleports you back to the 1980s, cartoon days of watching G1 Transformers, and this figure just encompasses all that nostalgia. It comes with a great trailer, a G1, very G1 inspired look to the robot mode. Transformation's amazing. Comes with a matrix of leadership. This is by far one of the most quintessential, probably best G1 styled or G1 inspired Optimus Prime figures out there, or legit Optimus Prime figures. You have got to get this in your collection. Let's go top 3. At third place is the Netflix Voyager class Earthrise Earth Mode Soundwave with Laserbeak and Ravage. Again, a very difficult figure to acquire, but I'm just so happy to actually have an Earth Mode cassette tape recorder transforming Soundwave. Again, full of G1 nostalgia and just amazing inspiration from the old G1 Soundwave. Soundwave has always been my favorite Decepticon, and to have him in his modern, updated look, G1 inspired version, I'm just so loving this figure. And at second place, everyone's favorite Padawan and Reluctant Jedi, Season 7 from the Clone Wars, Ahsoka Tano in the Black Series format. Oh my goodness, she came so close to the top spot. I love this figure so much. I just cannot believe I actually own this figure right now, which, I kind of want to get that old Rebels figure, Ahsoka Tano, when the newer version gets released. I'm going to probably get that to add to my collection. This is an amazing figure, a terrific figure. If you loved that Rebels Ahsoka, you are going to love this figure. This figure, to me, is the most perfect Ahsoka figure Hasbro's ever come up with. In fact, the best action figure for Ahsoka. And at number 1, you guys probably guessed it, it is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes. Oh my goodness. This is my favorite figure for the year 2020. I absolutely love this figure. And again, much like the Transformers or Star Wars figures that are on this list, this has so much nostalgia, so much G1 inspiration, taking you back to your childhood, watching those cartoons. Oh my goodness, I don't think I need to say any more why this figure is just, for me, my favorite figure for 2020. So there you go, folks. Those are my top 20 favorite figures for 2020. And here's hoping to a better year for 2021. Better figures, better collectibles, and overall just a better year. Let me know in the comment section what you think of my list. Do you agree with me? Do you think I should have included other figures or other toys or collectibles in my list? Let me know in the comment section, and as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe, and if you want to help the channel out, please check out my Patreon account. There's a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the very end of the video. It really helps with the YouTube's algorithms and analytics and all of that. And I just wanted to show you guys, I don't know if you noticed during the review, but the review station has received yet another makeover. And this time around, I was able to find a sizable material or type of paper to use that will fit all my specifications for this review station. I used 2 of them. If you live in Manila and you're interested to acquire this type of sheet paper, it's called Fabriano Accademia, and it is made in Italy, and I got it at Power Books, or not exactly Power Books, because I think they rebranded this to Art Bar. So Art Bar, they sell a lot of art supplies. It's owned by National Bookstore as well. And it cost me about $2 each. So very cheap, but great quality. It's pretty thick. The natural grain is about 200 GSM. So it's pretty thick, very good. It's a little on the off-white side. It's not as white as like typewriting paper like this one. It's a little on the, I don't know if it's ecru or eggshell, but I like it. It does what it needs to do for the review and for the review station, and I'm pretty happy with this one. I think this is now my go-to material for when I clean up and do a facelift and makeover for my station.